I'm now joined by Onur Erim, a political advisor and writer here in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So we just listened there to the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan addressing the nation in front of the Turkish parliament, exactly after the time the parliament was bombed that night on the 15th of July, 12 months ago. What did you make of that speech?
Well, there were, I guess, a couple of main parts inside. He emphasized in the beginning part of the speech, which took a bit of a time to go over. He has mentioned and underlined the heroic acts of the Turkish people, of the Turkish nation as a whole. Very briefly, he touched upon the rather recent speeches and the explanations of the opposition leader, Mr. Kılıçdaroğlu, and he explained why he was opposed to those. And I think what has to be underlined in that part of the speech is that he wasn't acting in sense of opposition from one party to the other, but this was a national issue, and that what he does or what he has done, although he may not have meant it, is hurting the national movement in this direction. At the end, he has again underlined what he has been saying from his 2002 first election. He has redrawn our aim, the nation's aim for 2023, which is the 100th anniversary of the foundation of the Republic. All in all, it was a speech that summed up the last year, what has happened since July 15th, 2016, what has changed, and what has become of this very glorious, very sad, but at the same time, a very joyous day.
And looking at the two speeches today at the Martyrs Bridge, we said that it was quite emotional there and we were expecting it to be more political theme at the parliament. Was it right, that?
Well, President Erdogan, to say the least, is somewhat of an emotional personality. I think when you add the fact that he was the #1 aim of the July 15th attempted coup, his family, personally even, besides him being the leader of the country, made it more sentimental for him. So I personally wasn't expecting anything less than this. As a matter of fact, we have seen during his speech, his voice cracking up, almost bringing him to tears a couple of times, which is very understandable. He has lived this at first hand. He was chased. He was almost attacked in Marmaris. He was chased throughout the airspace in the time that he spent in the air en route to Istanbul. He was chased as he landed. I was one of those people that was in Atatürk Airport that entire night, not by choice, but we were first stuck there. Then we spent the night all the way into the morning. He was actually, just give you a little anecdote, about 7 a.m. in the morning, when we thought, everybody in the airport thought everything was settled, I was having coffee outside in the terrace of the airport. And I saw, and it was like within almost a reachable distance, a military chopper with a gunned man that I could see very clearly flying over us. At that second, I was thinking, nice, everything is settled. Everybody's now back to where they should be. These guys are touring to, securing the premises. After it passed twice, I realized, wait a minute, what if these are one of the coup guys? 2 days later, in the newspaper, I saw the same chopper in the news article. That chopper came to attack President Erdogan, went away without attacking him after they saw the missile launchers by Erdogan's place of staying at that point, which was the presidential terminal. So that thing started about 11 or 12 in Marmaris. It went all the way till into the next morning. So it was a very hard night for him. He had to stand for himself. He had to stand for his family. But above all, which he showed us, he stood for the entire nation.
And looking at today, as you said, he escaped death there. So how has it played out into his popularity?
I think it played out great, which is driving the opposition crazy, to say the least. And the reason that it's kind of played, I don't know if it's the right word, but it played out in his favor, is because he has proven time after time that he did not do any of this to gain popularity. He was just being himself. When President Erdogan, and he used to do this a lot more previously than he's been doing in the last few years, when he's himself, there's a great appreciation from this nation. When they see that he's acting, he's being himself, he's being the guy from Kasımpaşa, rather than being the politician, they just go crazy about him. And that's what he may also have gone back to as of July 15th, being himself, being the ordinary guy from Kasımpaşa who grew up in Istanbul, who fought his way through the political ladder all his life, against all odds and against everybody. And when people see this, they go after him. That's why they have been voting for him time after time in the last 15, 16 years almost.
Well, Onur Erim, thank you very much for joining us on our special anniversary coverage here on TRT World.
Thank you, Ancha.